Joining us this morning is the Executive Director of the Titusville YWCA. It's Ashleigh English. Hi, Ashleigh. How are you today?
I'm doing good. We're a week out from Turkey Trot, so I can't believe it that we're like that close. We're counting down, and this morning I checked. We were at 245 participants that are registered, so we'll definitely, I think, hit 300 with race day.
Wow.
And it looks like weather is going to at least be decent through Thanksgiving Day. So
Yes.
I don't know what's going to happen after Friday. I know they're starting to say it's too far out, but we don't know. But I think we'll still be good for Thanksgiving Day with streets clear and cold, but not snow and ice. So
I talked to somebody yesterday who said they're so excited to be involved, and I said, "Oh, you gonna be running?" No, I'm gonna walk, but I'm excited to do it.
And that's the biggest thing. It's a community event. It's just about getting out, seeing other folks. You know, we have over 300 runners, participants usually, but then there's family members that show up to cheer them on and be there at the finish line. And so it really is. It's a nice event. Folks come out right going through, up and down Walnut Street. So if you live along the streets and you want to, on Walnut or nearby, and you want to come down and cheer for the runners at 9 a.m. on Thanksgiving morning. And it's a really nice community event. And it is really the only fundraiser that we do where we, seek out sponsors and just, it's a fundraiser to support our programs, of course, but also a really just nice event for the community, and we love doing it.
Do you have a cutoff, or if somebody called you last minute, could they still get involved?
Oh, yeah, that you can still get involved, and you can register race day. You can still come, it's like last minute, like, oh, I'm gonna go down. You can still register. I am saying because kids run free, they have to be registered by Wednesday.
Okay.
They can still participate, but they won't be timed. So unless they want to pay the fee, because it gets too crazy registering kids on race day. Yeah. But absolutely, you can still come out. We do have our cutoff already for our shirts, so those, if you missed that, sorry, but they need time to print them. So we understand that they need time to be printed. So yeah, absolutely. Still time to get involved. I think I've got most of my traffic folk, but just love to see you and come on down. If nothing else, just come and cheer on people as they do the walk or the run or whatever they're doing.
It's awesome. Looking forward to it.
It's a nice event.
Yeah.
It really is. So, and this is also today's Great American Smokeout. So
you plan this, right?
It's always the week before Thanksgiving is Great American Smokeout. So if you happen to be someone that struggles with, a nicotine addiction, whether it's vaping, smoking, chewing, this is a great time to think about, maybe I'm going to kick the habit. I'm going to, and a lot of times people say, oh, I've tried in the past and it didn't work. You know what? Then you try again. It's just one of those things. A lot of times it takes people multiple tries. And there is the PA Quit line, so you can use that and use those resources that are available to you. And as we always say to kids when we go into the schools and work with them, if you don't start, you don't have to quit. So those are things that we've been working on, and so take advantage of those programs.
What's the support system like for that? I mean, if somebody came to you and said, I really struggle, is there a group I can sit with? Can we,
Well, there's some in-person classes, but a lot of times you can also do things virtually. And just talk to a coach who's going to really make you look at your habits. When are you smoking? When do you pick up that cigarette first thing in the morning? Is it more of an after a meal?
Stress.
Is it a constant? Because it's habits. We have habits of things that we do. And really you can use it for any type of habit that you'd like to maybe change up a little bit. So they're going to work with you that way, be there for your support. and also hook you up maybe if you need some nicotine replacement, lozenges or gums or patches. There is some funding available to help folks that, would like to give it a try. So those are things that they can do. And like I said, the PA Quit line is a great place. We've been working a lot too with kids at the middle school, doing our True Group, which is tobacco resistance unit of PA. And recently we took a group of young women over to Representative James, and he was graciously hosted them and heard what they had to say about the importance of advocacy and education, and then helping kids to not continue to, those that do need help, because the addiction's real. We know the addiction's very real, and it happens with kids too. We think, oh, you're 15, you can't be addicted. Yes, they very much can be addicted. And so also helping them get resources that they need to kick the habit.
That's great. And again, they can call the YW if they have any questions.
And we can hook them up with where they need to be.
Paula
Paula DeGregory is really the person in Titusville that does the cessation programming, but we work very closely, and we'll make sure that if you give us a buzz or, shoot us a messenger or whatever, that we get you hooked up.
This is that time of year where it seems like all of this stuff kind of comes to the surface, right? Whether it's this, whether it's, watching what you're eating and thinking about New Year's resolutions and all of, this is where you're starting to really hear about all this stuff, and it should be year round. But again, if you're struggling with anything like this,
it's really important to do that. And again, we're going to say, get those flu shots, make sure your children are getting those immunizations. With those childhood preventable diseases, we're seeing rises in whooping cough and measles and, just things that really we didn't hear about in the United States anymore. And we're starting to see that again. So it really is important to be talking to your healthcare provider about what things do I need to immunize against to keep me healthy and safe and keep my children healthy and safe.
Kind of keeping along the track of health, there are resources at the YW. Your membership offers some opportunities.
Yeah, we always say too, we're not a health club. We're not trying to be a health club. But if you're interested, and particularly, I think there's a group of women that really just want to be around women when they're exercising. Yeah. They don't. We do have some weightlifting. We have yoga. We have some different dance fitness programs that are going on. We do have a little room with a treadmill and some weightlifting that you could do on your own. So absolutely. We just want you to live your best life, be your best self, and physical activity is a huge part of it. And we're so blessed in Titusville that we really have a walkable community. You can walk a couple miles and you have sidewalks to be on. To get through our parks. A lot of communities have all these hills or they don't have sidewalks at all. And Titusville is so blessed. And then with our trails that we have. So take advantage of that and just get out and walk. It's great for your physical health, your mental health. Take advantage of that.
And I was just going to ask about, because we've had, over the last several months, a lot of guests on just talking about mental health and there seems to be a lot of struggles today getting involved with things like this. Working out, being around people is so important.
Great for anxiety, for depression.
Yes.
And I do think, when you get involved with an exercise group, it's more than just the exercise.
Yes.
You're there with other people, you're talking, and then maybe you decide, let's go get coffee after class, or let's, just have a go for a walk. You develop friendships, you develop connections. And I'm a bit of a social animal. I love, being around people. And so for me, that's so much a huge part of my day and my social life is just those connections with folks, that I also help improve my physical and my mental health. So absolutely, whether you're doing it with us or other places, going to the YM or just get connected.
I used to hear a lot like, I don't want to work out in front of people. I don't, I'm afraid people are going to be staring at me. No, when everybody's doing their thing, they're worried about them.
And I do think if anybody ever, I think when you've gotten into a workout program, you feel good about it and you just want to be supportive and help other people do the same.
Yeah.
I'm not saying there's never a jerk out there who might, say something inappropriate or nasty or, we see those
and
things.
I apologize.
We see those things on social media. But usually what's interesting is when I do see them on social media, it's somebody saying this is so wrong, that this person's out trying to improve their health,
yes,
make good choices. And, so I think they really the bullies get knocked down pretty quick.
Yeah, which is good.
Yeah, we don't want none of that mean stuff.
It's crazy. 2025 coming to an end. We're going to save looking back at 2025 for next month, but already there's saved the date.
Save the dates. I've had people saying, when is the dad-daughter dance? When's the mom and me dance? When are you doing these things? So I did take we had them on the calendar. I hadn't really been posting them yet, but those are some things that are our typical winter activities for us that people look forward to. And so there they are, and we'll promote them more as we get into the new year. But there are some dates set. So if there's things that you really, you like to do, put those on the calendar so nothing else interferes with those dates. Like, nope, we can't do that. That's, the dad-daughter dance, or that's mom and me, or that's the, princess parties that Saturday.
Yeah, and it's funny because you've been saying now for a while, like people keep asking, hey, when's this coming up? When's it? Mm-hmm. They're excited.
People know about it, and and that's great too, because you just love to see. I love to see kids being active and doing things outside of screen time. And then it's just really nice to see parents or grandparents or whoever that older adult is interacting with their kids in such a positive way.
That's wonderful. You're watching the Morning Drill on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Ashleigh English with us here this morning, Executive Director of the Titusville YWCA. Speaking of getting people out moving, dance, come join the fun. Dance and cheer. That's Tuesdays through the 9th of December?
Yeah, so that's going on right now. So we only have a few more weeks of that. And also we have a little hip hop class that's going on. We try to just offer some things that are really very affordable, cost you next to nothing. And if you can't afford it, we'll still, bring you in. But then I think we kind of take December off after, not take it off, but we don't do a lot of because there's so much other stuff going on in the community, and I don't want to be competing with what other organizations are doing. And after Turkey Trot, we're just kind of like, okay, let's take a break until January. So we don't do a lot of programming through December, again, because there's so much going on with the schools, with other nonprofits, places to go. Churches have lots going on. So we just sort of slip back a little bit in December and catch our breath to start the new year.
Giving Tuesday's coming up. If somebody wanted to maybe support great programming that's offered or the mission, they can call you and have that conversation?
Absolutely. And I love to talk about the YWCA. Excuse me. So absolutely, give us a call, stop by, have a tour. Everything from, we're helping unhoused women and children with the shelter program, with our Fun Factory program for kids getting a great start in education, and then just our activities in general that we have, that we offer in the community. So if you have something, an area of interest, we'd certainly love to work with you. And I will say too, need knows no season. Need is year round, and so those are things that are just so important to make sure that we love to give this time of year, but the need is there. Sadly, we do have a high level of poverty in our community, and so how can we support those people to make sure that they're getting what they need, and hopefully moving forward.
I did run into Miss Amy at the store the other day, and I said, "You excited about that new digital whiteboard you have?"
Whiteboard.
Yeah, she was excited.
Oh yeah, she's kind of a techie at heart. I think she has all of the other things that she likes to do, but she does get excited about some of the technology, and the kids love it. They really do. So we really appreciate that help from the Crawford Heritage Foundation to get those things in our classroom.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Now, if somebody wanted to give like a donation to go towards memberships, to offer memberships to people, can they do that? Can they have those conversations?
Yeah, we certainly can. I always say our memberships are more about saying, I support what you do at the YWCA, and I want to make sure that, these programs continue, and that, because again, we're not going to turn anybody away from taking a class or participating in one of our programs, whether it's for an adult or a youth. So that's really, your membership is just saying, I really support what you guys do here, and I want to make sure it continues. And so those are things, we'll just have but we can certainly discuss. And we so appreciate the support we do get from our local community, because there is no way we could offer the programs we do without local support, because our government funding is really pretty small compared to, we are not overly government dependent, which of course we appreciate what we get for our housing program, but it's really local communities and foundations that keep us going.
And speaking of that, are there needs this time of year that people could be picking up extra things and helping out with the shelter? Or is it...
I think, again, we have needs all the time. So, if you're able, with Associated Charities and what they're doing, and the other organizations in town, yes, we always have needs with our community cupboard, with just keeping, paper products at the shelter, those types of things. But just like I said, it's one of those, this community, if you're giving it here, it's probably benefiting more than just the folks that are, because we wrap around folks and try to make sure they have what they need.
It seemed like there was a lot of big projects this past year at the YW. I think the flooring in the gym was...
Yeah, that we did last year, but we did do, we've painted the buildings. Believe me, keeping those 3 buildings up and, and maintained. The other day, I did make a comment to my husband. I said, I hate these buildings, which was just, and he replied, I do too, because he's basically our maintenance man. So it just, when little things, there's a leaky faucet, or there's this happens or that happens, there is always a project when you're dealing with buildings that are 100+ years old. But we do love them as well, because they're just beautiful and such a part of our history here in Titusville.
Nothing big in 26 in terms of...
God, I hope not.
Okay, all right.
I hope not. Right now we're just kind of in a maintenance level. I don't see any major projects going on. Although I take that back, we are talking about maybe trying to put a pavilion up in our play yard.
Oh, wow.
Just to have, we've had to remove some trees in the last 5 years, because they just, trees don't live forever, and they became dangerous. And so we've lost some shade in our play yard. So we might be looking at that, but that's not like a huge project, but maybe that's something that we are thinking, like, come spring, so that kids can be outside more, but not have the sun beating down on them while they're out there. So that look for that in the spring. Yeah.
Okay. There's a lot going on, and if folks want to sit down and have a conversation, or see, hey, what are some needs? End of the year giving, Giving Tuesday, and again, as you say, it's not just this time of year, although there's
we
a spotlight
think about
on
it more
but,
this year, this time of year. I know they just had the food drive yesterday. There is a lot of needs in our community. So, but always open to talk to folks about, what's going on at the YWCA and maybe how they could help us out.
All right, and they can go to the Facebook page to see what's going on.
That's the best place. Facebook's easy, you don't have to be too technical to figure it out. So, that's a good way to find us.
Okay, and before wrapping up.
So September 9th, our 11-month-old puppy went missing. Okay, out Route 89 area, and just want him back. So if you happen to find him and can return him, we are offering a $400 reward. You can find me at the YWCA. Like I said, we just want him back. No questions asked. He's a nice dog, and I know I really have a feeling that somebody's maybe loving him in their house, but we really miss him and would like to get him back. So if maybe you've seen him or whatever, please, just want him back. Okay.
Ashleigh, thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
All right. Have a great Thanksgiving.
You too.
All right. This is The Morning Drill. You're watching it on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel.